There's something about spring that just inspires creativity. I find that seeing nature blossom and come to life always stirs feelings of wanting to be productive. Transformation is everywhere at this time of year, and I've certainly felt it too. Ever since we moved into our home, I've eyed off this old patio, always pondering what to do with it. Seeing as it isn't an area we love, it's a bit prone to clutter, hence my terribly messy excuse for a potting table. Feeling the stir of springtime motivation, we decided that it was high time this messy patio came down, and as a lover of upcycling, I had a plan to save some of the demolished materials from the scrap pile. DIY garden beds for growing vegetables, flowers and herbs. Luckily for me, my husband Alex is a carpenter, so he's very handy on the home renovation front. He got to work with his tools, removing bits and pieces that he could make far quicker work of than I would. Once the shade cloth came down and light filled the area, we could really see it coming together. Now that I had my pile of beams, it was time to get my garden beds underway. Here's what I started with, an old dead lawn of sorts. Really, it was just weeds, the ultimate blank canvas. I planned where my beds would sit and what size I wanted them. I made it so I'd be able to easily reach into the beds from the walkways around them without stepping in the dirt. Alex marked out and cut some of the beams to suit and showed me what to do to attach the beds together, and then I did the rest off camera. Once the frames were put together, I moved on to prepping the beds. My first step was removing all of the dead weeds. Good riddance. I found that the soil revealed underneath was very hard and not anything special, so next on my list was preparing it and enriching it with some added goodness. First, I turned it over to soften it. Now, this is a do as I say, not as I do moment. Usually I'd use cow manure for my garden bed prep, but this time I thought I'd try chicken manure as a test. As a relatively new gardener, I like to experiment and see what works. This wasn't the best choice, as the chicken manure was too high in nitrogen. My flowering plants really hated it, and it took a lot of watering to flush the excess nitrogen away. So learn from my trial and error, and do use cow manure in this preparation process instead. Once all the new additions were in the bed, I gave it a dig to mix it all in amongst the existing soil, followed by a good watering to help everything settle. I started with some corn seedlings, which I'm so excited to grow for the first time. I also transplanted some zucchini seedlings that I had elsewhere in my garden. They just weren't getting quite enough sun where they were, and these new beds gave me the perfect opportunity to rehome them somewhere a little bit sunnier. Beet Beetroot was also among the other goodies that I planted. I directly sowed these seeds and crossed my fingers and hoped for the best, having not grown them before. I planted a bunch more flowers, herbs and veggies off camera just to keep a bit of mystery for the big reveal. Now it was time to wait. A few weeks later and the garden beds have absolutely come alive, and I'm so happy with this transformed space. I finished the area around the beds off with some pea gravel, which has come up so beautifully. The plants are absolutely thriving in this nice sunny spot, and I'm already on my way to my first harvest. Basil I planted is doing so wonderfully in these beds. I've never had much luck with basil, but all three varieties are loving the morning sun and afternoon shade. I also made use of some more recycled wood from the old patio, using some of it to edge the perimeter of my pea gravelling. Thanks for watching my garden bed transformation. I hope it's left you feeling inspired to get out into your own garden for some fun. If you liked this, be sure to follow along as I have plenty more gardening and home renovation projects in the works that I'd love to share with you.